is from the other side. They call me every time. I've done my best.
Takozani Dumelang Lisedi. Hello everyone and welcome to the one-on-one sessions with Gogo Musfare, and I'm your host, Gogo M. Giving you tips on everything spirituality. So if you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe to it and turn on the notification bell. And if you want to contact me for consultation bookings only, the number is 0655 051216. Do not text me for questions. If you have any questions, kindly leave them on the comment section and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Okay, so in our past videos, we've spoken about signs that you have a calling, the different kind of ancestors that people possess, and all those things. So I take it you have a calling. You have found out that you have a calling and it's exciting. Or maybe it's scary, or maybe both. Emotions differ, I understand. But you have found out that you have a calling, and maybe you have noticed that having this calling has affected certain things in your life. They could have affected your work, they could have affected your growth, they could have affected this and this and that. Anything can be affected by your calling. It's normal. But right now you're here wondering, what is the way forward? Okay. Before we get into this, I want to make something clear. Okay. These are just general advices that I, as a personal healer, as a traditional healer, would give you, but I will further ask that you go out and search the right way. Okay, these are just guidelines on what is much expected of you. In a way, what are the signs that your calling is active and your ancestors want you to initiate right now? That is what I'm going to be touching on. And how do you find your Kovela? This is what this session is going to be focusing on. But for further information, I would advise that you go out and check even further, because I understand I can't emphasize this anymore. I say it almost in every single video of mine, that ancestors are different and they require different things. Okay. So, as I'm saying, you have a calling, you're excited, you're scared about it, you're a lot of emotions all at once. So you went out, probably went to consult someone, someone told you, oh bro, you have a gift. Or you were just passing by and a random person just said, you have an ancestor, or you have a spiritual gift that you need to attend to. It's overwhelming to actually hear that. Or even if no one has come to you and told you about it, you are having dreams and visions that actually indicate that you have a gift. Whereas in that case, I would still advise that you go and confirm whether you have a gift or not. Okay? But with all these things going on, you are here wondering, okay, I'm having the signs, I'm having the dreams, I'm getting confirmation. How do I know when it's my time to go initiate? And when I know it's my time, how do I go about it? So I'm going to start with the signs that now it's time to go and initiate. So this is how it goes, man. The first sign is that your dreams get very intense. Okay. Well, firstly, you have dreams of oceans, you have dreams of snakes, you have dreams of all those things, but they're quite peaceful most of the times, and nothing bad ever seems to happen. You wake up on some, what did I just dream? But you don't really have that fear because nothing bad is really happening to you. But when your time is very close, those dreams can get very intense. And when I'm saying intense, I mean very intense. Like you'd wake up feeling like you were not dreaming. You were seeing what you were seeing. The snakes attack you. The lions attack you. Whatever totem that comes from your ancestor attacks you. Then the oceans that you see, they are furious. You see the oceans moving in ways that they shouldn't. You just see any mistake, I could get hurt. You see yourself drowning, you see yourself struggling, those kind of things. Okay, so it's very, very intense. Mondo sometimes can even feel as though you're being strangled and all those kind of things. It's very intense. So that is the first sign that your time is near. Okay, you should be getting ready to pack your bags and go. That is the first sign. Eh? Number 2, doors are closing everywhere. Okay, doors are closing even more. Like you cannot see anything going on well for you. And when you go out and check, everyone will tell you, nah, your enemies is not your enemies. Or, okay, it's your enemies simply because your ancestors are not protecting you anymore. Your doors are closing. You're walking in so much destruction. Like nothing is going well in your life. You're just there looking at everything like a bystander, and you're just watching your life fall apart. That is also another sign that your time to initiate is very close. Like you should be starting right now as soon as you can. Number 3, depression becomes a norm. Okay, so this one is quite common for a lot of people with gifts, and when it's time for them to initiate, like you get into a really dark place. You feel so empty. You feel like your world is falling apart, and you just feel like nothing will ever be okay again. Like you just feel the weight of the world on your shoulder. Everything is just a mess at that point in time in your life, and you are constantly depressed. You're happy one minute like you've never been before, then out of nowhere, life punches you in the face and you're stuck in that dark space. And those are like times, Molore, as a spiritually gifted people, you isolate yourself. As a spiritually gifted person, you isolate yourself. You can't deal with the world around you. You can't deal with anyone around you. I remember when I hit that stage, I stopped attending shows, poetry sessions. I stopped hanging out with my friends. I literally ghosted all my friends. Like literally ghosted them, which was kind of mean, but I did it because of the point and place that I was in that particular moment. Like I would literally lock myself in my room just to get away from everything and everyone and just probably feel at peace, which was kind of difficult and impossible, but I thought it would actually help with the depression and everything. But you get really depressed in so many ways. Nothing in your life is going well. Even if maybe you're seeing good, you're succeeding, it's just not enough. You're just empty on the inside and you don't know why. Okay? Number 4, you experience a lot of spiritual attacks. Okay, spiritual attacks come in 2 ways. Okay? The first ones are whereby you are being attacked by negative entities. Okay, so as a spiritually gifted person, you find out that you have a gift, but understand that your gift is constantly manifesting. Your gift is constantly getting stronger by the day. Your chakras are being opened, and it's very exciting, it's very good, but it can still attract negative entities to you, because one thing about entities, that is ghosts and demons and all those kind of things, they can see you and they can see that you are spiritually gifted. And one thing about a spiritually gifted person is some have the power to actually communicate with the spirits not really, like, I'm not even going to say the ancestors. The ancestors are not in this category over here, but those entities. You can communicate with those entities. Okay, not only this ones, but those ones too. So it becomes one of those things whereby they're like, oh, so you can see us, you can feel us. Then if you're unlucky, the negative entities will start to attack you. That is where we find people talking about demon possession, all those things, which for a very long time I was like, nah, that's a lie. But truth be told, that is real. Okay, that is very real. I'm not even gonna kid anybody about it. It's very real. Ne? And this happens when you are reaching a point of enlightenment. Yes, it can happen to someone who doesn't have a gift. I know that, né? But people who have gifts are more prone to it because they have a certain amount of power, and their power attracts these entities. Okay, whether you find people who astral project, and when they do that, they are fighting so many weird things over there, and it's just scary. So you will experience spiritual attacks from negative entities as the first one. Number 2, you will experience spiritual attacks. I don't know if calling this spiritual attacks is fine, but I put in the same category, whereby what happens is that your ancestors are evoked. Okay, you could be out with friends just chilling, then all of a sudden moya watsena, and you're all over the place, like your spirits are being evoked in that instance. Or maybe you're at church and all of a sudden your spirits become evoked, and the way that they become evoked is, it's hard, it's gangster, it's just, yeah, it's very intense. Okay, so you get to experience that a lot, whereby you are just minding your own business, or maybe you're just sitting in your room and all of a sudden you black out, and everyone there is trying to get you back to your normal state, whereby they're trying to talk to your ancestors to loosen up a bit. So you get to experience those kind of things a lot, especially when you're someone who was prophet or with a prophetic gift. You are mostly prone to it, especially when you get to church and all those things. Even with people like Mguni, Mdao, it does happen, but I tend to feel it's very rare for people with those specific ancestors to experience it. Yes, they do experience, but not that much. But all in all, you experience spiritual attacks from negative entities, and also in moments whereby you are, if the ancestors are evoked. Ne? And the last one is you have an urge to just leave. Like you just want to pack your bags and go. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what you're going to do. You probably don't even have any money on you. You're just there, just wanting to pack your stuff and leave, or just leave everything and just walk. Just go and maybe see where the road will lead you. That is where Molore, you know that your ancestors don't want you where you are right now. They want you to go and appease them and initiate for them. Those are the signs that you have this gift. Now you have to go and initiate. You're not one of those people, okay, you have a gift, but they're like, nah, you can just chill for now. We're just going to be visiting you now and then, because that happens. You find out that you have a gift. People can find out that they have gift at a very young age. But in that instance, it's just that thing. No, your ancestors are just showing their presence, but they don't really want you to initiate right now. Continue to live your life, continue to have fun. When the time comes, they will tell you. Others about that thing, now is the time. So all these things start to happen and they become very intense. All the visions, all the emotions, they just become 10 times worse than they would be when you don't have a gift. Because I understand that we all have depression regardless of whether you are gifted or not. Okay. So these are hectic now, but the biggest mistake that we people do is that the minute we find that we have a calling, we just pack our bags and decide to go to whoever we can find who initiates and go get initiated. You make decisions out of impulse, which is, you're not supposed to do that. Just to start things off. You're not supposed to do that. Because, like I said, there are stages to this thing. Sometimes you find out that you have a calling, but it's not your time to initiate. They're just letting you know that you have this thing. One or other times, okay, you have this calling and they want you to initiate, but there are steps to it. You do not make your own decisions in matters of spiritual things. Your ancestors are the ones that will guide you. Your ancestors will show you where you have to go. If you have to go to a gobela, if you have to initiate elsewhere, how they want you to initiate, they are supposed to show you everything. And you going out and just going to whoever you find can cause a lot of problems for you, because you might find yourself in a position whereby you are go THWASA, you're govela, like there's nothing wrong with the person, but for some reason your ancestors are refusing to be evoked. And the main thing is that we're trying to get your ancestors to come through. We're trying to get your ancestors to come talk to you. We're trying to get your ancestors to find refuge in your presence and be able to tell you, okay, do this and that, and all be able to guide you on how to help people. But for some reason that does not happen, and you're there wondering what's going on. You are at the wrong person. You are at the wrong place with the wrong person at the wrong time. Okay? So there are ways in which you can find your Kobela. Okay? And I feel like these are some things still you are not told enough. And that is why people end up going to the wrong people at the end of the day. Okay? So the first thing, you are supposed to see this person. You might see this person in your dreams or in your visions. Okay? Most of the times when you have a gift, let me say 70% of the time, when you have this gift, what happens is that the ancestors will show you when to go and initiate and who you have to go and initiate to. Like I said, you might have a gift, but have them say, no, chill for a while. So when the time comes, they will tell you, you know what? Sorry. They will tell you, you know what? now we're ready to start working. So go to this specific person and initiate. So number one, they might show you who to go to in your dreams and in your visions. Number two, you will see the place where you will find your govela. Because there are times, more Lord, okay, maybe you don't see the person's face, you don't see the person, you don't hear the person's name, but you hear, they tell you about the place. They come and tell you where to go to. Okay, because now what happened to me is that when I found out that I had my calling, the first couple of years I was chilled. It wasn't my time to initiate. I was still living my life, having fun and all those things. And when the time came, what happened is, yes, I experienced all those signs that I was talking about there, but in terms of who I should go to, I saw the place. I didn't see the person. Okay, I did not see the person who was to initiate me. I saw the house. I saw how to get there. And I did as I was told. I went and looked for it, and I actually found the person. And funny enough, after finding this person, when I went back home to just go chill, relax, talk to my ancestors, have them tell me whether it's the right place for me to be at, I had a dream, a vision of confirmation. Okay, so that is how the spirits work. Not everyone can be your teacher, because there are some instances whereby, okay, like I'm saying, I'm not demeaning anybody's power. I'm not saying that I'm stronger than whoever or you're stronger than me or stuff like that. But there are times, Molore, you might be stronger than the person who is a governor. It's possible. When you haven't yet initiated, but your ancestors might be stronger, probably because of the lineage, probably because of the type of ancestors that you have, and all those kind of things. There are a lot of reasons why the powers of ancestors are different, but it's not anything whereby we're gonna look at ancestors and be like, nah, these ancestors are not cool enough, blah blah blah. But there are instances whereby you may be stronger than somebody else as a healer, ne? And in those instances, there is no way, ne? No way that you will be helped or you are gonna be initiated by someone who is not as strong as you or stronger than you, ne? Because, okay, it does happen now and then, but the problem is, will the ancestors be able to be evoked by this person? Will they be able to undergo certain procedures? Okay, so it's very important for them to show you the person or show you the place where you will find this person. Okay, in rare cases, you find yourself like you black out. Okay, it's not really you black out. What happens? It can happen in two ways. Firstly, you black out, and when you wake up, you find yourself at the person's place, ne? And secondly, if you don't black out and all those things, your body is moving involuntary. Like you're just looking at yourself going somewhere and you can't stop yourself. It's like you're being controlled by something, a remote controller is controlling you or something like that. And what happens in that instance is that by the time you stop or the time you wake up, the time you get back to your senses, you find yourself at the person's place, which is actually the coolest thing ever. I was there like, I wish this happens to me, but unfortunately it didn't, but it's cool. But you can also find your govela in that way. Okay, so you don't choose yourself for yourself who to help you. In most cases, the ancestors will choose for you. But in other cases, there are times whereby you might get an instruction to look for somebody. They might tell you, okay, look for anyone who is in this particular region, or look for anybody who is a man govela or a female govela, ne? Or just look for somebody, and you go out and you start searching for and all those things, which is cool, ne? And when you get there, you can go to multiple people, but what the main thing that will tell you whether the person will help you, whether the person is right, is gonna be your intuition in that point in time. It's gonna be your intuition and your feeling, how you feel when you're there, how you feel when you leave. Like, it's gonna be that thing, like, if the person isn't the one, you're gonna go there and you're gonna listen to everything they tell you. You're gonna like, okay, I hear, I understand. But there's gonna be a part of you, your heart is just not gonna connect with this person. is not gonna like this person, is not gonna agree on you to be initiated by this person. And it's normal, it happens to all of us. You might meet the wrong gobela at any point in time, and this person might be willing to help you wholeheartedly, but your ancestors might not allow it because of reasons that they only know themselves. I cannot make sense of all the reasons because spiritual matters are quite complicated, ne? So emotionally, if you don't know, this isn't the person who's supposed to help me. And you might feel that for a bunch of people until you actually go to the person, to a particular person. And when you get to this particular person, you just, yeah, it feels right. It feels like home. Your vibe, the energy there is just, it's moving with yours in sync. You are feeling welcomed by the ancestors of this person's. You are feeling welcomed by the ancestors that protect this person's home. You are feeling welcomed by this person's energy itself, okay? Like you just find yourself so happy. You're just smiling out of nowhere, and it's really great. It's a really wonderful feeling. It's a really wonderful feeling, ne? But all in all, number 4, not everyone sees their gobela, ne? Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Number 5 is whereby you just have to simply wait, ne? Because there are people who have gifts, but they do not THWASA the way that we do. There are people like that. And the problem is you find out that you have a gift and you rush to go initiate without understanding the kind of gift that you have, the kind of ancestors that you have. And that in turn will actually affect your spiritual growth. And it can also affect your ancestors, whereby they might take a step back from you. Okay, so there are people who simply need to wait. Ne? Valore. There are people, Valore, your ancestors can initiate you. They can initiate you without you going anywhere. Like, I've heard about this so many times. I was like, that is crazy. Like, I couldn't believe it. But having encountered so many people in my practice, I have now confirmed that that is very true, and it happens. It's a very rare case, but it does happen to a few people, whereby they are initiated by their ancestors without having going anywhere. More the ancestors will tell them, or stop eating this, stop doing that, go to the woods, get this, get that, and then you'll start seeing herbs in your dreams and your visions, and they tell you how to use them, and they show you divine bones and all those things. But before you actually stop and say, well, okay, my ancestors are like that, because we understand that ancestors will show you those kind of things, even when they want a certain person to go and initiate you, go and confirm it elsewhere. Go and confirm whether your ancestors will initiate you themselves, or they have a gobela for you. So, like I said, they will just simply initiate you right on the spot. More others will initiate you underwater. So cool. Okay, the ancestors which initiate their children underwater, they're usually the Nzuza ancestors. Is it Zuza or Nzunza? Yeah, these are actually people who are related to the people who live underwater. It's actually a very interesting, like, ancestor to begin with. Like, having researched it myself, I was very amazed by them. And from my knowledge, they are somewhat connected to the mermaid spirits, which I have spoken about in one of my previous videos. But the connection, it's a very tight connection, but it does have its own boundaries here and there. But usually the people who are initiated underwater are the Nzuza people who possess the Nzuza ancestors, and they completely, you might find yourself, okay, firstly, their ancestors will tell you, go to this specific ocean and go inside initiating. Ne? That's the first thing. Or secondly, they'll say, go to this person, and this person will take you to us. Molo, they'll take you to a certain gobela who will take you there and then come fetch you afterwards when you are done with your initiation. So it's a matter of understanding what your ancestors want. Do not rush to doing things. Do not start out of nowhere and say, I have a calling, I'm gonna go initiate. It doesn't work like that. A lot of people are blocking themselves, they are blocking their blessings, they are blocking their ancestors by simply doing this, and then later would say, well, nah, my Govela blocked me. Your Govela didn't do anything to you. They didn't. When you're the one who didn't listen and decided to go elsewhere, okay? Even though others might do something to you, but I'm just trying to tell you what, if you actually make impulsive decisions, you might find yourself blocking yourself, and at the end of the day, you'd assume what somebody else blocked you instead, when it's not really the case. Okay, so anyways, those are the signs that now you need to go and initiate, and how you have to go about it. I hope this was very informative, because I really feel like this is so important. This is really, really important. I feel like it's one of the most important sessions I've ever had, videos I've ever made. And for further clarity, whereby you feel like, okay, I see these things, I understand these things, but I need to know more based on my ancestors, I advise you to go and consult. Okay, you can go to a prophetic person, you can go to someone who was so to. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you get the information from your ancestors even more, in order for you to know what to do and how to do it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys learned a lot from it. Yeah, wishing you guys a wonderful one. Bye bye.